Hey, Healing Fam. I am HealinMi, where we are healing me. This is today's energy check-in to see what messages serve our highest good, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and financially. I'm sorry. So I said mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. I've already shuffled the cards, Spirit. Ooh, that's a lot. How many is that? 3? Okay, I'll take it. We got communication is key, new moon in Gemini. We got take time to breathe out, decimating moon. This is the energy we're in right now. Or approaching, because we just had a full moon, so this is the energy we're approaching over the weekend and today. And then we also got step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So North Node is in the 3rd house right now, which is communication. So communication, it seems like we're going to have a lot of unexpected communication coming through. And it's asking us to step out of our comfort zone in order to grow, because we don't grow in our comfort zone, right? And so it's also seeming like we're going to have, again, what I was saying, unexpected conversations that it's asking us the energy of being honest, not holding back. Maybe we were with these particular people or in these particular subjects, we weren't standing up for ourselves, walking in our truth. Maybe we weren't showing our emotions or being honest about our emotions, which is ego-based, or fear holds us back from doing those things, like fear of being scared or having to control or things of that nature. Those are all fear-based, lower vibrational things. It's asking us to not let those things hold us back in our communication. Also, I'm reading this as maybe there's something creative wanting to come through us, that the divine, since all creation comes from the divine in us anyway, and it's an expression of the divine. So maybe it's asking us to let go of the resistance that's been holding us back from receiving or believing in what we're receiving, that it is needed, that it is authentic, that it is purposeful, that it will be successful, that you won't be judged, that you know, things of that nature. Anything that may be holding you back from allowing this creative idea or creative, this creative idea. I'm getting that creative ideas are trying to come through to bless humanity, and we are either not trusting it because it's really new for us, or we're doubting ourselves, which again is all lower vibration and ego-based thinking, which are lies. Okay, those are illusions that we have to walk away from, that we have to change those thoughts so that we don't feel that way and believe that, right? So that we can attract what's wanting to come in instead of what we've been attracting currently by those false beliefs, okay? So that's what I'm getting. And that another way is that if there's a triggering situation, not to react to it the way that we had been reacting, right? And it's asking us to breathe and not react. Sometimes just walk away. We don't always have to put people in their place or prove to them that we're not weak. You know, weakness is not being silent. It takes that self-discipline and self-control, that bitch, I'm the shit and I ain't got to prove it type of energy. You know what I mean? That's what, to me, is power, okay? Weakness is to lower yourself or lower ourselves to a vibration to play with them just because that's where they are. And that's not having self-discipline over our triggers, right? And so that's another way that this is reading through as well, that we may be caught off guard and triggered, and it's asking us not to stay in our comfort zone of just tat to tat or tit for tat type of back and forth type of energy. Don't give those people energy or things energy that lower our vibration, right? And that's in the comfort zone of where we've been. It's asking us to step out of that comfort zone and breathe, allow that positive energy to flow in, release, and let out that negative energy that wants to do that tit for tat where we're comfortable doing, where we've been taught to do. And society even teach you that, because if not, like you said, we may perceive that or believe that that was a weakness. No, there's strength in silence. There's strength in knowing who you are. There's strength in protecting your happy. There's strength in protecting your vibration. There's strength in keeping your vibration high, because those are the people that know that I attract from how I'm feeling. And I am choosing to not allow this to affect my vibration or my signal of things that are very much so ready to land and come into my life. And then here this trigger comes from the devil or negative energy or haters or black magic or whatever that's allowing this to have its rightful place in the world, and it's wanting to live. And I don't want to give this negative energy or this negative situation or this negative thing that's caught me off guard or this negative person that's caught me off guard. This is still negative energy, and at the end of the day, it's still negative energy. And no matter how you twist it around, flip it over or anything, it's still negative energy. And are you going to give it time of day? Are you going to feed that monster? Are you going to feed that energy? That's what the devil tempts us with, okay, as the human side of us. But greater is in you than he that is of the world. You are so much more than this body, and you have the ability to take the control and discipline over your human side and saying, peace, be still, let's breathe, let's let out this negative energy that's flowing through our flesh, that our flesh is trying to tempt us with this to react in it the same way, right? It doesn't have to also be an argument. It can be a sex partner that you need to get away from that's toxic. It could be a lover that you need to get away from that's toxic, and you need to step out of what feels good and what you're used to, and because you're scared of the unknown of what will happen if you leave them, what will happen, worried about if they're going to be with somebody. None of those things matter, right? It's saying to step out of what you have been what have you been used to, right? Because that's been attracting things the same way that they've been doing. And if you want something different, which you're deserving something different, and a part of you is attracting something different, then don't allow this old thing to pull you back. Don't allow it to tempt you to pull you back. So that can be anything for us, and that can be different things for us. Don't allow something that we have overcome to tempt us back and bring us back to that. Listen to our inner voice, and we can only hear our inner voice clearly by breathing out, staying calm, keeping control of our emotions, and balancing out our energies and staying in the highest vibration that we can, always searching for the highest feeling thought. The highest feeling thought is going to be attached to the highest feeling at that time. So we have to learn how to psych ourselves out in the beginning when we're doing those things, so that we can retrain our minds to view and feel about the circumstances currently right now differently, right? And that's how when it says to call things as you want, even if they are not, right? As you want them to be, right? Walking by faith and not by sight, right? So those are these things that there's talking about, is that step out of the old man of us, which is the human part of us that is used to doing things a certain way, and allow the inner being part of us, that's the eternal part of us, the greater part of us, the limitless part of us, you are powerful beyond measure, right? Part of you, right? The divine part of you, the invisible part of you, right? The non-physical part of you is the eternal part of you that guides and governs this human body. So take back your control and step out of your human side of you that's been governing you, and allow your spirit side of you to be the governing portion. That greater is in you than the human side of you, right? The bigger part of you is the non-physical side of you, and it's asking you to allow that to give the attention and energy that it needs by communicating through you in the only the way it can. But it does that through when you're in a receiving mode, when you're in a breathing in and breathing out, balancing your energies and not letting the raging temptation feeling of the human side of us in whatever situation, in many situations, in every situation is different for us, but that raging physical side of us that's trying to tempt us and lure us to react in the way that we have been reacting and the way that we're used to reacting, the way that we have chosen to make that a habit of reacting, right? It's saying break those those habits, and the habits that we have broken and not go back to that is to not allow that pulling in our flesh to be more than and greater than the voice that's inner of your inner being that you can only hear when you are calm. Peace, be still, so that you can hear your guidance that's always with you, never leaves you, and never forsakes you. Okay? What else, Spirit? Thank you. There's no place like home. Okay? That's 50, which breaks down to 5. So this is that 5 is about changes, right? That's the turning point before things start to move forward into success, recognition, progress, open doors, opportunities, a higher level of living, different things like that. When doors open, right? So this is where we come back to self again, balancing out our light and our darkness, right? Allowing our light to shine and our light to guide us, right? Light always heals the wounds and heals and sheds light where there was darkness, right? So allow the healing in the areas. Allow us to change. Allow us to realize that we are so powerful beyond measure and tap into that inner power, realizing that that fleshly pull that we're used to, that it's only become a habit because we haven't took the time to breathe out, center ourselves, so that we can hear the divine in us, right? We can hear our guidance, right? Our inner spirit that speaks to us gently, right? It only speaks to us in a gentle manner, right? So we can't be in this raging manner or in this lustful or triggered fleshly pull energy, right? And be able to hear clearly, right? So yeah, no place like home, right? This is a higher vibration, right? This is being led by our higher self, right? Really realizing that we create our abundance, we create our surrounding, realizing that this is knowing that things are meant to work out for us, right? This is where we change and overcome the darkness, right? And we rise above the darkness. We rise above the habits that were holding us back. We rise above the safe zone. We rise above the comfort zones. We rise above the toxic habits that the habitual habits that were energetically blocking our blessings, right? That's what's the change, right? It's no place like home, being centered to self, knowing that, allowing our inner being, which is the greater part of, that's home, right? So allowing that to light up, giving that attention, allowing the non-physical part of us to express itself, right? To be the bigger part of us, the guiding part of us, right? To light up, right? To realize the change, to allow ourselves to be illuminated from inside out, to allow our third eye to open, right? And we only do that by changing our old habits, right? You cannot attract something new or change your life without changing how you think and feel. Those are their habits. How we think and feel are our habits of how we react and show up in life. And that is what's asking is we have the ability now to change that and be who we were created to be. Allow our inner beings to illuminate and be the guiding force in us, teaching us and guiding us to think and feel accordingly to our divine rights. You were born to win. I am born to succeed. I am energy. I am abundance. I am wealth. I am successful. To keep our mind on what we want instead of what we don't want. This is learning how not to talk about the things that are unwanted to our friends, gossip about unwanted things. We are learning to stop that, right? We're learning not to entertain that, right? we're learning that what energy we put out is the energy we get back, right? So we're watching what communication we put out there, right? So that we can receive the communication that we want and that we need and that we deserve, right? So words are powerful, and when we're using our words, we're using them to bless us and anything else we speak on. We don't speak against anybody else's name or anybody else, because we're speaking positive and we're hoping the best for everybody and ourselves, right? That's what's changing. So we're no longer talking about anything unless it's about what we want, right? And you can do that with your inner beings, your angels, the non-physical part of you, your non-physical team, right? The divine part of you, your divine team, your ancestors, your guides, our ascended masters. My ascended master is Jesus, okay? But I am the sum of 1,000 ascended masters. That is what I am speaking over my life. That is what I am learning to believe. So it's asking us to learn a new dialect, and so that is a new way of thinking that creates new feelings, that creates a new vibration, and that keeps us in this vibration of receiving. And there's no place like being aligned to the non-physical part of us, right? It's no place like being aligned because it feels good. That's your guidance system. Feeling good is the work. It doesn't feel good to talk about what happened and what they did to us and what happened this morning when we went through the line and they charged us wrong and we have to wait for our they charged us for somebody else's. It doesn't feel good to talk about what went wrong, right? That caught us off guard, that we don't deserve, that doesn't feel good. When we don't feel good about that, that's our thing to say, okay, our inner being realizes that this is an experience that caught us off guard, but we don't have to attach a negative feeling to it. It's okay to not have liked what happened, but we're not going to give energy to this and let it plague our whole entire day, our whole entire weekend, have us in this rut because we keep talking about it. And girl, guess what happened this morning? And this beep did blah, 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 blah. This stupid blah, 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 blah did this and they didn't do their job. And da, 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 da. We're speaking all that negativity against the people that did the wrong thing. None of us have to be perfect. None of us owe anything to each other, okay, but to ourselves. But to see the best in ourselves and everyone around us. And that is how the inner being of us sees things. The human side of us attaches something, and anytime somebody does something that we don't like, then we think that we have the right to judge that person, speak about that person, react like a brat about the situation and hold on to it and make an excuse about that situation and and what happened. And make an excuse to hold on to that and not be happy and not rise above the bullshit, rise above that reaction, rise above them not being perfect, but rise above them, well, oh, this is not a perfect world and humans don't always do what I want them to do. This is what we have to learn, that humans don't always do what we want them to do, and it's okay. And not to hold or attach something negative to that, not to keep running our mouths about that, okay? Not to keep replaying that energy, holding on and replaying it in our minds over and over and over and over. Break that cycle. Because while we're giving that energy, we're giving them energy to control our happiness, not raising up and being one with our inner being light. And you can't be light while you're talking about darkness. You can't be light while you're talking about what happened. You can't be light while you replaying what happened over and over and over and over and over in your mind and getting upset and feeling those emotions and not feeling good. Guess what? And all the while, everything that you had been on high vibration and controlling yourself and not letting nothing steal your joy and controlling your energy and protecting your energy that was ready to land for you, guess what? Now has a skirt and come to a screeching halt because we're still playing down here with low vibration energy, feelings, and frequency. That is how things work, okay? This will hold everything from that's up here trying to land for you. And so we have to be in this vibration with the higher being, with our inner being, with our true divine, who we are, our non-physicals, not letting anything steal our joy. That is the lesson we must change and learn. And obviously we are right there to learn this or to apply this, okay? So it's easier sometimes to catch that trigger, catch yourself, catch your vibration, and catch that comfort zone that wants that fleshly pull that wants to pull us back, right? That comfort zone feeling, right? That comfort zone thought and feeling and emotion and reaction and habit, right? Sometimes we catch that faster, sometimes we catch that slower. It's asking us to catch that, start being more aware, and it doesn't matter when you catch it. When you catch it and change it. When you catch it and change it. It doesn't matter how long it took you to catch it. It just catch it and change it when you catch it. And when you catch it, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. You realize that feeling good does feel better than feeling bad. Okay? Because you realize what comes in your life and what starts to come when you start to do that. Then you realize, okay, I do have this power. And you start feeling more empowered, and you start taking control of your life, and you start manifesting the things that you want, okay? And you never want to go back from that, right? So then once you're spending more time controlling yourself and controlling your energy and staying in high vibration and letting go of the BS that was holding you back and your blessings back, then you don't want to do that. And you catch yourself faster and faster and faster in those one-off situations till we get to the point where they don't catch us at all, okay? Because now we've created and formed new habits, all right? Let's get some angel messages and close this message out. Something which no longer serves you is about to leave, is about to end. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful closing. Yes, that means that we are learning to protect our energy. We're learning what no longer serves us, to not give it energy and not let it block our blessings, to not hold on to it longer than what we have to. We're learning not to give into this fleshly pull. That's a beautiful, 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 beautiful last card from the angels to close out this message and to confirm everything I was saying, right? That things are coming into balance for us, right? And we're not allowing lower energy to hold us back. We're catching ourselves in the fleshly pulls, in the habits that had control of us and that we were given. Those habits were causing us to react and show up into the world to things unexpected and react in ways that were holding us back, and we were given so much energy to these things because of how we react, right? How we react, we can it takes two to dance, right? It takes two to argue, right? So we can, and we have to choose, what do we want to give energy to, okay? So we're learning to keep our mind on what we want. And so the things that no longer serve us, the reactions that no longer serve us, the habits that no longer serve us, the thoughts that no longer serve us, the feelings that no longer serve us about certain things, we are learning not to place those labels on things. We're learning not to keep talking and replaying what happened. Girl, let me give you the tea. Girl, let me tell you what happened, especially if it's lower vibration, and then realizing that we're replaying that out over and over and over and over and over. And then we're lowering our vibration over and over and over. And then we're replaying that more when we get off the phone with them, telling them, or when they leave, or when we're not around them no more. If we're telling them in person, it doesn't have to be over the phone. But regardless, or texting or whatever, we're replaying that emotion. That's that lower vibration. We're refeeding that monster, the devil, the one that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. How? Because it keeps your mind on the past. It keeps you in bondage mentally. It keeps you in low vibration. It keeps you mad. It keeps you angry. It keeps you resentful. It keeps you in fear. It keeps you in doubt. It keeps you in bondage. It keeps you in trying to keep control people, and when you need to work on controlling yourself, right? It keeps you in those type of thought processes, which then becomes feelings, which then become habits and beliefs. And that's the signal and vibration, and that you keep attracting more of. We are releasing that. Hallelujah. All right. I love the light in you. This is Healing Me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.